I left my career of 20 years where I was always very successful and turned my side hustle, got so big that it became my full-time job. And now I've since taken it out of my basement. I've got a bricks and mortar location. We're doing about $870,000 worth of sales a year, but I'm still not paying myself since getting the bricks and mortar location. And I have an opportunity to go back to work in my previous field, make $100,000 again and get back to earning for my family instead of now having what feels like my business just drain me. When I'm staring at the debt that the business has, I'm staring at, all of the expenses of having this overhead now and just thinking like every payroll I go, oh, will I pay myself? No. Don't do it this week.
How much debt did you take on for this?
Well, we bought the building, so we've got the mortgage on the building, and then we've got some renovations that we had to do and some startup inventory costs. So I would say we probably owe $450,000.
What's the building worth?
I'd say probably we paid $390,000 for the building, and the place next door just sold in the sixes. So I'm confident that if we sold it right now, we'd get at least probably $550,000 for it. So I think the building is an investment, I guess, but that doesn't help the mortgage payment every month.
Yeah. And so if you didn't have the building, your business would be profitable?
I think our expenses every month are about $20,000. That's payroll.
You'd have rent if you didn't have the mortgage.
That's it. I think it would be a wash. I honestly think that the mortgage every month isn't what's bringing us down. I think that overall, sales are kind of tight or tighter than when we first, $875 is what we did last year. I would say we're down to $550. We're on track to make $550 this year. And I think that's economy and people doing just shopping less. That's what I'm seeing. I don't see us doing a whole lot different. We used to do a lot of online courses, and now everybody wants to come in person. So COVID was great for us doing online. So we had a lot of online revenue. And now people are like, well, we'd rather come in person. And, well, you can only fit 10 people in a classroom where you could do the course before for 100 people. And so we try to now do online and in person, but people want in person, and you just can't do as many, it seems. So my question really is, if I'm trying to adhere to the baby steps at home, which I am, but I'm never bringing in any income, should I allow my business to run as is?
No.
Without me here every day with the employees that I trust?
It's not making money. There's no point in keeping it. I'll just shut it down, sell the building, or you've got to see a way to make it profitable, one of the two. If you can figure a business model that gives you hope, a business model shift, a pricing shift, a delivery of product shift, whatever it is, the way you're doing the classroom thing, to where you actually are making a profit and you are paying yourself, and you can see your way to that. If I try these three things and they don't work, then I don't know what to do, then I need to close it. If you've tried everything and you don't know what to do and you're just waiting on lightning to strike, then it's time to close it. You close something, you end a relationship, or you end a business, you end a job, you bring an ending to something when you lose hope that it's going to get any better.
What's your opinion on it making enough to pay the employees?
No, thank you.
Not enough to pay me too.
No, thank you. It's not a hobby, it's a business. It's not your job to only create jobs. It's wonderful that you create jobs, and that's a cool thing. But you're supposed to be making money owning a business. That's the point. It's not a hobby, and so you need to have a way to get this profitable, or you need to close it and sell the building and get out of the debt.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one. I don't hear the idea floating in our conversation that saves this, but it may be there. I just don't know what it is. And so
No, I don't know what the idea is either.
I think I would sit and spend some time in prayer, spend some time maybe even with your leadership team, if you're married with your husband, and talking about this and saying,
Mm-hmm.
okay, before we close it, is there anything else we want to try? And if we try those things and we can't get it profitable, we don't see a way to scale this, we don't see a way to break this log jam, then me working for free, me owning a business and being $450,000 in debt to make zero money is a bad idea.
Yeah.
That needs to go away. And the great news is it can go away and you can clear the debt and maybe put a little money in your pocket and restart your career. But I'm going to try to figure out a way to deliver this service in a way that I can get enough scale to it at enough price that it makes me money. You know, if the people want to come in, there's only room for 10, then maybe your pricing is too low per unit. If we raise prices, will we have the same number of customers? I don't know. I'm amazed at what people will pay for small group engagement situations versus being in an online setting, and for the personal attention of, it's almost like having a personal one-on-one coach because there's only 10 people in the room, and so I'm amazed at that price point and what it will do in some areas. It might not do in your area. It might be the area of business you're in, what you're teaching or how you're doing it. It might not work for you. But so I'm going to give myself, you've got a lot invested in this emotionally, financially, and everything else. So I'm not going to close it today. I'm going to give myself 30, 45 days to come up with an idea or maybe to try a couple of things and but I'm going to, once I have exhausted all reasonable possibilities, and then the conclusion is that I'm going to stay $450,000 in debt to break even. And no, thank you. And make I'll just close it, sell the building, and go get a job. And you'll make a lot more for your family, in that whole process. And that's exactly the route I would go with that. So, wow. I feel for you. I wish I had the perfect thing I could just throw at you and go, just do that. But I don't understand enough of what you're doing to throw that at you. I'm sorry.